Another
welcome.
Pompon's waving.
Hi, Pom. Hi, Hindu.
I don't know, I just want to say hi to him.
What is his name? High-res what?
Also known as Ursa Major, is here now.
Yeah, it's here. We actually had our mid-season patch. Back from Valencia, we got a new patch coming.
Well, before we go straight into item balance that we started to do just lately, we're going to go over what new skins you'll be able to see in this patch. Going to start things off with Terra. Crystalline or Crystalline Terra? Crystalline? I say Crystalline.
Yeah, I like
God, look at those
American. Yeah, speak the real tongue. It's a tier 2 skin, and it's going to be fancy to be able to see that in-game a little bit later on after the balance section. Not only will we be seeing this Terra skin, we'll be seeing Cuchulainn, or Cuchulainn. Sorry, somebody said it in my head, and I'm like, I got it right, I'm learning it. Cuchulainn.
I have trouble with that too.
He's looking a little bit more Irish there, that's for sure. Oh, to be fair, Scott's also had the ginger in him too. So
that sweet mustache.
I love the monster.
That's going to be Cuchulainn.
With
that's
the
also
whole
stash,
We've
also got some nice new skins elsewhere. The Morrigan is given a new skin as well. The Morrigan skin is called SPF 666. Guess that's Sun Factor something.
Yeah, it's a bit
hey,
evil.
look at the seagull in the bottom left.
Oh, I do like the tattoos on that.
He's a lot cuter than Morrigan.
Is that a cloak?
Yeah, that's a Clone Morgan. Well, she's technically 3 people.
And the beach ball's about to hit, which is like, oh no! Quite clearly, that's where the third one is. Next up after that, we'll see an Alpwash skin. Freaky Tiki Alpwash. That looks good.
No, unless that's coming with a Pwash buff.
Super sick.
It don't matter what skins
that's a pig.
they give
Please tell me that
dude.
pig's involved. I'm a dream man.
I believe it is, and I think it's one of the coolest things you could have done with the pig.
Gosh. Well, yeah, I'm getting the thumbs up from people about that. Alpwash, and then it's Naja's getting another skin.
Yeah.
What's going on?
This one's hype. It's one of these kind of techie ones that change color as the match progresses.
Is that the technical term? Techie ones?
Yeah, techie ones.
It's a good skin.
Well, we'll see a techie version of this. I believe it's
all of those skins are good. She belongs in one.
Critical damage.
Critical damage.
Mercury has one.
Lord help us all. Not only Naja, we've also got a Wheelish skin coming, or a Wheelish, if you like to call it that. Midnight Dove. Oh,
cool.
This is the community one. This is the one that the community voted on.
I would not mind seeing her at midnight.
Yeah, no, it's really good skin.
Just don't tell the wife. That's the main thing. I wish. And then you had one Cupid skin. Have another Cupid skin.
Very
this
different,
patch.
but cool.
Dr. Mad Love.
Yeah.
Evil scientist.
I don't know why, but that's a sick skin.
In the right eyes,
I hope it looks good in game. I feel like that's one of those skins that could just be trash.
Judging him on appearance.
I don't know. The nuclear bomb in the back is a little bit. I don't know why you have one of those.
That's a very good point. I did not notice the nuclear bomb. Maybe it's for defense. You never know. America does that all the time. But not only that, there's also mastery skins for Cupid too. You know, so look. Whoa! Hi, Cupid.
Pretty underwhelming once you see that.
New mastery skins for Cupid too. We'll have a look at what they look like in game as well. But that's it for the skins for the time being. We'll move on to the skins a little bit later on when you see them in game. But it's time to talk about all the new changes coming this patch.
Yeah, we have our extension to Project Olympus.
And so Project Olympus, we started last time round. Lots of updates in the game, from graphical updates as well. And one of the things you mentioned was a lot of updates to do with the rank season as well.
Yeah, so this patch is the ranked updates, and then the next patch is the log console quality of life stuff that we're working on. But this patch we have a ton of ranked features, as well as one kind of, if you want to be nice to players, you can use this feature. That's the only way I can really describe it. Be nice
to players.
Yeah, if you want to be nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. If you're really trying to farm FP, this might be the way to
The only way I'm nice to players is make them F6. That's how it should be done. So the first one is going to be full split ranked updates. It's basically the new pick and ban feature. The planning phase is going to be coming in. What's this planning phase? And please tell me, for the love of God, the ranked phase is not going to extend longer.
No, it's not going to extend longer. So first let me explain it.
Okay.
Basically, when everyone gets into lobby, they're going to have 30 seconds to pick what character they would want to play. So they can click it and highlight it, and it'll show next to a portrait being like, hey, I want to play this character. They can also right-click it or select the ban option and ban that character, and it'll show the person who's picking and banning when the actual pick and ban phase starts. Hey, 4 people want this character banned, you should probably ban it.
Okay.
And so this allows teams to very quickly organize in a very efficient manner. And so this is also really good on console, where communication is a bit more difficult. It's harder to actually communicate what's going on, what people want. So console is a huge quality of life. For PC, this is just a planning phase. And it should speed up the whole course of the lobby, since there's less communication involved. Things should go a lot smoother.
Yep.
But just in case it doesn't, we've taken 30 seconds off the total bank time, since it's essentially 30 seconds that both teams get to decide and start talking about picks and bans.
Okay, cool. So you get an idea of what people would like to be banned on your team. You have to say, hey, what do you guys want me to ban? Because I don't really care about banning.
It's a good idea.
Because I play so
I don't see anything wrong with that.
I just get shields all day. So that's going to be the new planning feature. We've also got new matchmaking division rank.
Yes. So when you play games, you're match made against your MMR, which has a certain rank associated with it.
Okay.
And then you have your own earned rank, the one that is public that everyone sees. We're actually now going to be showing you not only your earned rank, but the one you're being match made at.
Right.
And the whole goal of this is mainly to inform players what kind of their actual skill level the system thinks it is, and then showing them what they kind of have to work towards. So when you qualify, you actually get a rank and then a matchmaking rating. And that matchmaking rating is going to be above your rank, but we're not quite sure because there's a confidence value there. We've only had 10 games of you. We don't know if you're actually that good or if it's kind of a fluke. And so we will match you up there to see if that's true, and then it'll adjust from there, and then your actual rank will start catching up to that rank.
So if anything, in a weird way, you could actually just go off what your expected rank would be and say, yeah, I guess I'm around a diamond player if I can get to that level again.
Yes. And also what this means is that if you get into a higher game, this is now explained, right? Like if you're a silver player but you're being put into a platinum game, it's probably because you're doing really good, you have a lot of wins under your belt. The system thinks that you're a platinum level player, and so it's testing that, and so it's matching you against other platinum players.
Right, okay. That makes some sense. So that's a new matchmaking division rank, I should say. And then it's God leaderboard points. This is another new thing that's coming to do with the God leaderboard and like specifically playing a single God over and over again and be very good at it.
So the God leaderboard is a bit confusing to players. It just showed win and loss, and it didn't really show any appreciable way to determine, like, if I'm a master level player and I get a win, then that master's game is worth way more points than something like a bronze player winning a game. And so now you can actually see these points as you win games. If you're on that leaderboard, you win a game, you'll see how many points you go up compared to someone who's in like bronze winning a game. And so this will be the kind of definitive way that players can see how players are rated on that God leaderboard outside of just wins and losses.
Okay, so through the whole of that, then basically we've got the original, which is the planning phase is going to be in there, the new way to look at your division rank potential of why you're getting matched in the games you are.
And that's also a soft way of essentially us showing your MMR. The MMR value is a hard number, but this essentially matches it.
Gotcha.
So it's a soft way of showing that because your MMR is really a range.
Okay.
So players can actually have information about where they're actually being rated.
And then the final thing is the God leaderboards, which we just mentioned. But not only that, this is the family-friendly thing for being nice to other people, right?
Yeah, be nice.
Fantasy point tipping. So that means I can tip people fantasy points.
Yeah,
basically.
so at the end of the match, if someone was really good or if someone did really well and carried the crap out of you because you're really bad, you can tip them FP and be like, hey, thank you for the win. And that'll be on the scoreboard. You can go to the scoreboard. There'll be buttons that let you tip. You click that, and then it's basically you can tip 20, 40, 60, or 80% of the FP you won that game. So if it was like a double weekend and you had a booster on and you got like 100 FP for some reason, you could actually share 80 of that to that person.
So can I, this is a bad idea to say this, but I'm still going to say it. Can I tip a DC player on the other team to say thank you for DCing?
No, you can only tip allied players.
Damn!
You can only tip your
trying to break the system already. I'm like, listen, if you DC right now, I'll give you extra FP.
Yeah, no, we can't do that.
I don't need the FP. I need the ranking up, though. Okay, that's a shame about that one. Next up, though, is the season ticket. The 4-split season ticket is here.
Yep, it is here. It is the continuation of the spring and summer one.
Okay.
And it has a ton of stuff in it.
Well, we should be able to see a little bit of that on your screen right about now, and there's a little look at... Yes, Dr. Madloff will be involved in this in one way or another. This is what you can get from it. It's a season ticket, 4-split pass, available in 4.14. Unlock Dr. Madloff, Cupid,
so
esports voting, which means you vote on all the esports games going on around,
to get the
and FP for correct votes from those. And you also get those worship boosters and the FP boosters for team boosting as well as some bonus quests. And as usual, you get to unlock even more stuff.
Yep, you get way more stuff.
Crazy amounts of things that's going to be available in the season ticket. And so that's to look forward to. Full ranked split.
Oh, and there's also the bundle that you can get a whole bunch of free points with.
The extra bundle that you can get, if you get the you can get 2,500 fantasy points to go along with that. So if you start out late on the season ticket grind, or you're a newer player, you've done a switch, or you just decided to hold off a little bit, but now that Dr. Madloff skin has tempted you in a little bit, you can go and get that as well.
Yep.
And the next up is season ticket rewards. Just so you know, these are some of the things that are going to be in the season ticket rewards from the season ticket. First of all, it's the limited critical damage Najar skin, the Greek Pantheon recall, the Egyptian Pantheon recall, and new hype time level up effects.
Yes, so this is a new feature that we're adding this patch for the season ticket. When you level up, you have that swirly effect that appears around you that's kind of like a golden color. Now it's going to be a different effect. So this actually changes that level up effect.
Okay, cool. So it could be like fireworks or something like that.
Yeah, it could be anything. I'm actually not quite sure what it is because I haven't been able to see it yet because they're still working on it, but it'll be cool.
It'll be here by next patch.
Yes, it will be.
Cool, all right. And then on to the next part, which is the fall ranked split. Because it's a new season, we're going to do a soft reset.
Yep, it's the standard soft reset that we did last time. We've taken data across all the game modes and made sure that the soft reset is going to put people in like kind of more condensed and towards the center, then players can requalify, and then they'll be spread out again as they requalify.
And that soft reset is happening right at the start of this next patch.
Right at the start of this next patch.
Just so you guys at home know. There's also going to be MMR division adjustments as well. What's that about?
So the data we use to determine kind of where divisions fall is we have a rule like Masters should only be the top 2% of players.
Okay.
So when you look at a bell curve, you have to determine what number to put that line cut off to determine where 2% of the population is above that. And for Conquest, this was pretty accurate. We used a lot of data for that. We're adjusting it a little bit based off the recent last split, just to make sure that it's in line.
Okay.
But Duel and Joust were pretty far off.
Bad.
And so now they have their own data being used to generate those numbers. Cool. And so the big thing for this is Joust players and Duel players who, like, you'll play a lot of games, you only get like 1 or 2 TP, and you're trying to grind up to Masters, and you're definitely a Masters level player. You just you can't grind the amount of TP to get there.
Sure.
That was the reason why. And so now players should be able to get TP faster, get to their divisions faster that they belong into.
Okay, and the final thing to mention is the ranked reward, which is a full recall skin. Is that correct? And that's going to be available at the end of the split, is it? Or is it
you have to.
this?
It's the you do the quest. It's the quest to do a certain amount of games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you unlock it.
Okay, cool. Next up then is to move on from some stuff to do with ranked in the Project Olympus is now onto miscellaneous, and then bug fixes, and then onto itemization.
Yeah, balance.
Items and balance in general, yeah. Miscellaneous then. The end of match lobby will now display experience earned if you are not level 160.
Yeah, so now you can actually see how much XP you're getting towards your prestige levels.
So I can keep popping those XP boosters and feel the difference.
Yeah.
Cool. After that is gameplay. Respawned Phoenixes will have new weakened animation postures and FX to convey they deal less damage after respawning.
Yeah, so they deal less damage when they respawn. They now are kind of like grayscaled out a little bit, so they look a little bit weaker and like almost more sickly.
Okay.
But yeah.
Makes some sense, just for clarity. And then on to bug fixes. Stone Cutting Sword, we fixed an issue where players would not receive a stack if they dealt a killing blow. And also one for Athena. We fixed an error on the K screen that would cause her passage to have no description.
Sure.
Now she's got a description. And now it's on to balance. Anything exciting about balance this week?
There's a lot of exciting things, actually, I think. I think a lot of people, we spoiled Kernanos.
My video might be in the way, so I'm just gonna... Now I'm not in the way.
We're going to start off the top of the shopping items, and it's going to be a relic first of all. Bracer of Undoing is the top of the list. It's getting a small nerf, decreasing the health and mana restored from 50. Actually,
so dirty. Talk dirty to me.
Restored from 50% of recent damage taken to 40%, and the same can be said for Bracer of Undoing the upgrade. They will both be 40%.
Yeah, so this is mainly Bracer of Undoing kind of sat for a long time, and a lot of people didn't really mess around with it too much. And then people kind of really figured out how good restoring that much health really quickly was, and we saw a huge resurgence of people picking it up. And there's really two situations that kind of break it, which are the early game aggression where both players like fight each other really heavily. The one with Bracer of Undoing, because those fights happen very quickly, is going to almost always come out on top of that. And then late game, as players have a lot more health, a lot more tankiness, the amount of health restored like greatly outweighs something like Meditate. It's still very selfish, and there's counters to anti-heal, but it was a little bit too hard to counter. So toning it down to 40% should bring those kind of cases a bit more into line. The item overall should feel a bit more counterable.
And there's also still anti-heal in the game.
Yes, and you can buy anti-heal.
Struggling with Bracer.
Buy anti-heal.
Yes. Or pick Sobek,
they're all pretty good.
or Bacchus, or Siren, like there's plenty. Next up on the list is Atalanta's Bow. We're going to increase the duration of movement
that's a big deal. That's 33% longer. No,
so it's only a 1 second difference, but
is
more.
50%.
Well, this item has kind of an interesting application, which is I'm boxing, and because I have increased movement speed, I can box more effectively than maybe the other hunter, or maybe the other assassin who's kind of chasing. But since you're slowed for so long after a basic attack, you only really had like a second to 0.5 seconds to really utilize the movement speed increase. By increasing it to 3 seconds, you have like a 2-second window where you're not being slowed by your movement penalty. So you can actually use this effect to kind of juke, to dodge, to catch up.
The item itself is pretty bad.
Demonic Grip is the next thing on the list here. Demonic Grip, going to be a couple of adjustments. We're going to decrease the gold from 2300 to 2150. We're going to decrease the magical power from 65 to 40.
That's good.
We're going to increase the attack speed from 15% to 30%. So a bit of a change in its identity.
This is a pretty big shift for the item. When we redid kind of the ring tree as a whole, 2 of the rings lost attack speed, and then we did a few other adjustments that limited the attack speed options for mages. And then Demonic Grip also went down to 15%. And so if you really wanted to build an attack speed mage, it was kind of difficult to do because you had Toxic and Witchblade, which are, especially Toxic Blade is a really good offensive item, but it's still utility based, right? Like you still can't quite get the damage you want out of it. And so we're making Demonic Grip something that you can actually pick up really effectively, give you a ton of attack speed, and especially for characters like Freya, where they have built built-in base damage, attack speed is much more valuable than that power.
Okay, well, we'll see how that works out with Demonic Grip. Next, after that, is the Hastened Ring. We've increased the duration of the haste buff from 4 seconds to 6 seconds, so 2 second increase there.
Long time.
And decrease the internal cooldown from 30 seconds to 25 seconds. So it's opening more of that window of burst.
So
like, what is happening, dude?
Cooldown is a bit inconsistent.
Freya, Chrono's Soul, they just went
amount of window to do damage. They had to wait
right through the roof.
At 6 and 25, this should just be way more consistent.
By golly,
you have a longer window to do things, and it'll come up more often. So if you
Hi-Rez is literally just saying
you don't have to wait too long.
The hunter archetype
and the big thing here is, especially
we
at 6
prefer
seconds,
mages.
you really expect, but it's not just haste, like haste and fatality used to give, where you hit someone and you have a small window of movement speed penalty reduction. It's a full 6 second window of you can miss basic attacks and still go, and so players will really feel that kind of difference between Hastened Katana and now Hastened Ring, where you can actually gas pedal the whole time, even if you're missing attacks. So 4 seconds is harder to notice that because you're generally in range, landing all your attacks. 6, you can actually chase really effectively.
So it really is a 6 second gas pedal that could come into use. Okay, we'll see how that works out. For the mages, obviously, more than likely, at least some of them will really enjoy that, and that's it for the items. It's on to guns next.
Yep.
We'll start things off with alphabetical order. Looks good. I'm just checking that. Anher is the first one on the list. Anher is going to get 2 buffs by the looks of it.
Oh no!
First of all, Disperse. We're increasing the damage done from 50 to 210 scaling. It's going to be 70 to 230. And Desert Fury, the cooldown has been reduced from 90 seconds to 70.
That's a pretty big deal.
That is a pretty big buff. He's been struggling.
Okay.
So at the top and competitive, he's been a very limited pick, if at all.
That's true. That's true.
Casual,
I do love me some Anher
a little bit, and so we're trying to give him some love, and we focus on giving him more offensive-oriented power.
Okay.
Leaping in and doing the whole pillar stun combo with the leap is going to be more rewarding because it'll deal more damage, as well as the ultimate being on lower cooldown means that you can use it more aggressively for just like poke plays. Or if you want to turn on someone who uses a CC effect on you, you can pop this effect, turn on them, and be really aggressive with that ultimate.
I gotta get real close to Hindu
really
over
encouraging
here.
his aggressive style of play and rewarding that, and giving him an extra tool so that he can actually deal with the other hunters a bit better.
It's going to bump him up, that's for sure. But bumping someone down, Kurdanos, who's been announced he was going to get some nerfs, and here's a little look at some of the nerfs. Shift of Seasons, we decreased the physical power scaling of Summer Heat from 10% to 5%. Not only that, the Horn Charge, we've decreased the base damage, was 90 to 290.
Kern was not actually OP right now, honestly.
And the Wild Hunt,
I think he was probably
increased by 10 seconds from 90 seconds.
They just took Kern off the board.
So one of Kurdanos' main strengths is really that he has a lot of tools in his kit, right? He has the slow, lifesteal, bonus damage, he has the shred, he has a movement skill, he has kind of a range poke, and he has his ultimate. And for a character that many tools, he has to have some form of downsides, or his tools can't be as strong as other tools that are available. And so the Summer Heat was giving him a bit too much scaling late game. The Horn Charge, especially with AA canceling, where someone could auto-attack, charge into someone at early levels, and cancel and auto-attack again, was really potent at low levels. And then his ultimate, which is this non-diminishing return CC being on a 90-second cooldown, so he could match other cooldowns of other hunters and other main 90-second ultimates. Being at 100% means that those tools aren't quite as good as the other tools that other characters have. So they'll still have his unique utility, but they won't be quite as potent.
Okay.
Don't ignore me,
next on the list
right here.
is going to be Freya, and there's been a lot of talk about Freya just lately and how she's dead.
Well, don't buff Freya when you're buffing Freya already!
Well too. The general, we've increased the base attack speed of Freya from 0.95 to 1, and not only that, the pulse damage, we've increased the base damage of pulse. It used to be 20 to 60, it's now going to be 30 to 70. And then when you factor that in, I guess with the other changes, we're still looking at Freya slowly, but not letting out.
I'm playing Freya support every
these
game!
changes are very targeted to help her with itemization problems that she was having. We removed a lot of items that she really liked, and so adding Demonic Grip back at 30%, she's a character that scales best off attack speed, and so getting that extra 30% bump is really important.
She's really a late game character, so what we decided was to buff all of her items and then increase her early game. So she's an all game kind of goddess because we really like her.
Like the attack speed works off the base value, and then the pulse damage is going to help her clear it better. So if she gets like an early attack speed item, she's going to get an extra pulse or 2 off. Those pulses are going to get harder. If she's throwing out 5 or 6 to a minion wave, this is now a 50 to 60 damage increase on her ability to deal damage to the wave. So these all of them combined should help Freya feel a lot better to play.
Okay, well, Freya's having to look. We'll see if there's any further down the line for her. But it's Osiris is next up, and a lot of people have been asking for some changes. We've got one change here this week, which is the Judgment Tether. We've removed the bonus 5% damage reduction per second. When I tell you it was Tether,
that's a big deal.
Up to 20% damage reduction at maximum duration. Just so you know, a lot of people don't really notice, don't know it really exists, and don't realize it is actually making an impact the whole time.
Yeah, so this is a very targeted change towards the high-level play. We've looked at Osiris across all game modes in normals, levels. In higher ranked, he's doing okay. It's not a little bit underwhelming. Okay. At a competitive level, though, he has been very high valued. He is very successful. And so we're looking really closely to make changes towards that high end without hurting him too much in the casual area. And one was Judgment Tether.
To be fair, Osiris is one of the strongest gods in the game for solo lane, so like, he needed a nerf, so
if the enemy team is engaged and you pop this, everyone's immediately doing way less damage. And as the fight continues, it's going to ramp up to 35, 40, 45, 50%. And so his ability to do that, especially in the late game, is going to be a lot mitigated. And so this should tone down his late game utility from being someone that like normally wants to chainsaw people and get damage off, and should be more in like kind of the frontline tanky, but he shouldn't get the additional reward of also being able to mitigate up to like 50% damage from the entire enemy team. So this should be targeted at his high-end competitive stats. We're going to continue watching him because the meta is shifting. We've seen kind of a lot of early talks of different strategies, and there could be some other characters coming into the solo lane that might be able to bully him out a little bit. There might be some other characters that might stop him from being really effective in late-game teamfights. So you want to watch him closely, but this is our first step at targeting more of the high-end play of Osiris.
We've not done that many changes because of the fact that it's just done the whole revamp of mid-season, so we're still waiting for a lot of things to come through.
Yeah, and there's other things kind of influencing like how good Osiris is right now. Sun Wukong's recent rise, where people are really valuing him. People really valuing Gladiator's Shield. Bellona being a little bit weaker now. Watching all those things shake out is really why we keep a close eye on Osiris, and this is why this change is only targeted at the top end play.
Okay, well, another change that's coming through is some buffs for our boy Raijin. Yes, he does exist still. And Raijin's, we're slowly working towards trying to find the right sweet spot for him here. This is the first iteration, which is going to be charged tempo. We've increased the cooldown reduction from 1 second to 2 seconds. Because of Storm will now pierce through enemy gods, so still deal damage. It can't be body blocks.
That's a big deal on the one. That's huge.
Potentially, and Taiko drums. We've actually lowered the self-slow. It used to be 40%. It's going to be only 20% now.
That's huge.
So what's the main goals with all this?
So first, why he was reworked. He was a frustrating character. He was hard to counter, and he could really, really effectively burst people.
That's very important.
So in the rework, we did a lot of tuning to make sure that things were a little bit less frustrating. The skill shot component of the 1 is a bit easier to land. The 2 is something that is more of a dot damage now, so you don't feel that instant burst. The ultimate has the damage reduced on the CC, so the actual choice between CC and damage is a lot clearer. And then after we made those adjustments, we can now look at his kit as it currently is, watch the stats that we've gathered from the first round of changes that people play with him. And the big things are we're improving his utility. We're making the spells that we change
0% win ratio.
So charge tempo is his new passive. It's now going to reduce 2 seconds, which is going to have a huge impact on how many spells he's casting in a game. The 1 now pierces, which is not only good for early wave clear, but it's also good for mid-game team fights, where you can actually hit gods with this. Or if you Raiju someone and they are being body blocked by the Guardian, you can actually hit through the Guardian and still proc that effect. And then the ultimate, you're less slow. This is a big complaint we got from high-end players, where they're like, I can pop my ultimate in a team fight, but then I'm just sitting at 40%. So going out 20%, he's actually going to be a bit more mobile. He can chase more effectively with his long range, or he can actually kind of juke around his team and avoid things a bit better. So all targeted towards his utility, and we're going to continue to watch him as these changes kind of play out.
And the final change in this week's patch notes is the Morrigan. It's going to be a nerf for the Morrigan. It's going to be to her confusion, her stealth. We're decreasing the stealth duration. It was 4 to 8 seconds as you rank it up. It's now going to be 4 to 6 seconds as you rank it up.
Add the yawn. I went off camera, so I didn't yawn on stream.
70 all ranks. It's now going to be 60 through 80.
Yes, so if you watched Valencia DreamHack,
you
probably saw Morrigan
guys to be yawning,
run at the enemy team, not get something, run away, 2 seconds later, stealth, run at the enemy team, try and get something, not get anything.
They definitely needed to nerf that.
All of a sudden, pick off a character as everyone is trying to deal with her.
You can be in stealth the whole time.
8-second duration is mainly why that's allowed to happen. She can be stealth for so long. She can stealth so far away from the team that the enemy team doesn't even know that Morrigan's stealthed yet. And so by reducing it to 6 seconds, her ability to do that kind of play.
Her range is kind of shorter as well.
Yeah, her range is shorter. Her effective range of the stealth is shorter. The movement speed buff she gets is going to last less long. And then the increased mana cost, if she's not successfully doing something off her stealth, it's going to be more and more punishing as those kind of attempts happen. And this is really a high-level change for her. We've kind of watched her over the entire season, and really it was towards the last half of SPL and then into Valencia DreamHack where people suddenly really figured out how to play her effectively, utilize that ultimate really effectively, and then learn this late-game niche of her being this really good assassin for squishy characters. And so it's off that kind of play that this change is being made, because this doesn't affect too much like how casual players are playing her. They're still trying to utilize the ultimate effectively. They're trying to use her abilities effectively. High level, they have that mastered, and this was a bit too frustrating and hard to counter.
Well, Pop-Up, pleasure for the balance section, as always. We'll see you in the backside in a second, as we'll have a little look over towards the community right now, and then come back for RTO. Be ready for RTO and the skins after this. But first of all, the community girls are standing by. Savannah and Amanda are both standing by right now. Ladies, how you doing?
Hi, we're good. Hey. How are you?
Hey, I'm not too bad, thank you. First of all, Savvy, box, console, yeah, they've got the patch, right?
We did. We patched 4.13 today, and there are two things that I want to note. We got the notifications log today, so during a match, players will receive updates on unlocked awards, items, clan updates, all kinds of things. And I want to mention that if you compare the PC mid-season notes to the console mid-season notes, you'll notice that a lot of the Project Olympus changes aren't on console. And that's because a lot of the PC updates were geared towards what console already had. I actually wrote a blog about that. You can go to Smite Game. I did.
Do you have any followers on that?
I mean, maybe a few, but it's on SmiteGame.com, and I know that has a lot of followers.
You're supposed to read a blog. I mean, you have to. That's by choice. Amanda, this weekend, we've got things going on, right?
Well, now that console has their mid-season patch as of today, we're going to be doing a prestige weekend for the first time ever this weekend. So you can earn 2 times experience. You can start growing your levels, and you know everyone wants to get that 160 and start bragging. So this is your start.
Get the prestige experience this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to group up or anything like that, because I don't like grouping with people.
No,
play alone.
You don't even have to have friends.
Good, because I don't have any of those either. That's also helpful. Ladies, pleasure as always. Thank you so much for your time. And we'll see you again on the next Patch Note show. You guys can follow him on Twitter as well for updates to the minute. But with that, that's the end of the ladies, and it's over to the desk. And as AJ adjusts his chair once more, as he rushed in at the last minute, AJ Fishman alongside me, as per usual, the three amigos, as I like to call them now. As I just called them now. We're going with it.
Made that up.
We're going with it. But the three amigos are here to go through the skins with you. But before we do that, Harris Expo is on its way, and at Harris Expo we're going to have Smite as well as Paladins, Hand of the Gods on its way, and maybe even more surprises early. And right now you can save 25%, the early bird discount for a limited time. There's the website to go to, harrisexpo.com. Are you guys going?
Oh yeah.
You know it. We've all got to go see that guy who now has to get a tattoo of old Bacchus, right?
Oh, yeah. I think that was Charlie.
Is that the only reason?
Yeah. He's got to get an old Bacchus.
Charlie's been streaming a lot. So
he said if there was
a tweet?
I forget how many retweets he wanted, but I'll get a tattoo. He got twice that amount. So.
Oh, no. So he's got to get 2.
He's going to bail.
He's got to get 2 Bacchus skins.
Calling you out,
looking at you.
Well, let's go to the skins then and go through what we have this week. Crystalline Terror Tier 2. You saw the card out a little bit earlier.
Crystalline,
yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Crystalline.
You guys were like lying,
sounds like a cooking.
And I was like neither.
Sounds like a stripper's name.
Crystalline.
What's your name?
Chuck has different frames of references.
To be fair, she's
I never know what these guys are doing with their life.
That's the main thing. And it looks like she's actually stolen gems from the gem chest to stick all over, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
I don't even realize that.
Smite, it's like Smite lore bling, you know?
It's like she's a walking advertisement for us of like, hey, I should buy some gems too.
Yeah, I mean, this was a natural way to go with her, with the earthiness, the rocks, so what's up next, like crystals. So threw a little bit of extra on there, and especially in the passive, right, Chuck? We get even some bigger.
It's okay, game. I like the hair.
Triggered the,
but it's
only Tier 2 as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've really been.
We've been talking about.
I guess it's a Tier 2.
Tier 2 improvements.
I really like the color scheme. Oh yeah, Pon is doing it now.
There you go.
So now you get these bigger spikes.
I like the hair.
That was a good shot, Pon. That's some excellent camera work.
He's learning.
Yeah, he's gonna do it quick too.
He's getting there eventually.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna do it again, just
with
to
the
prove
little
it
darker
wasn't a
color
fluke.
scheme and the bigger spikes. She looks badass.
Yeah, it's a cool.
She has some really crazy skins already with the fire.
I want to come on with a bad pickup line against this girl.
She'll crush you.
She will. Yeah.
It would be crushing.
Yeah.
I would never recover. It'd be over.
Done. Well, there's a look at the Terror Tier 2 skin. We'll move straight along to Cucullin's Tier 2 skin, which is Bruiser Cucullin, and he's got that.
This is literally a skin.
So wait. Let me touch on this.
Go on.
So this is apparently from John Bridges, who is our concept lead.
Okay.
Was telling us that this is an authentic Celtic facial hair design.
Wow. I trust him.
And
He does a lot of research.
Dude, he looks like Macho Man. I don't know. And he was like, but it's legit. It's legit. And then we put it on the monster, and I was like, hell yeah.
On the monster. Well,
look at that.
Here's a little look at him in gaming with his design. That mustache is
It feels pretty troll.
It looks well taken care of. It's well groomed.
He's
got
some oil.
For all you guys who
it's
like,
hilarious.
He's got some different tattoos. For all you guys who like your handsome Smite heroes, you know, now you got no shirt.
I don't know if handsome is the way.
New shirt, manly mustache.
God, typical high res. Never put clothes on anything these days.
That whole six-pack is visible.
Hey, RTO has lots of clothes, all right?
That's true.
Buddy.
She's very tasteful.
I want to see how good the mustache looks here. That's the key.
The Berserk stash?
Into the Berserk stash, yeah.
I actually like it much better on the monster.
The anger stash?
That's what sold, yeah, Chuck. That's what sold Chuck on the idea, is just the monster with the Berserk stash.
That's pretty good. I mean... Now, this is a tier 2 as well, guys, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Like, there's no ability changes, but
it's pretty funny.
With that stash.
Pretty funny on the monster.
Maybe just like every colored skin now, we just could give him a different stash. Every skin has a different one.
I mean, I do like patterns and consistency like that, you know, but...
Yeah. I just want to give the best ones to the best guys. That's my...
Well, there's the tier 2s, and I like tier 2s, but what I'm really about is all the tier 3s.
Oh,
That's what it's all about. So Morrigan's the first one I've got here for you, which is SPF 666 Morrigan, which is clearly a summer-themed skin.
Yep. It is, because Summer of Smite. Okay, so this one, too. There was some contention.
Oh, it was a bit tricky.
Was he?
By the way, we have to show the recall.
Okay.
So the idea, right? We always do at least one bathing suit skin, right, in Summer of Smite.
That's
and then
true.
when we saw this bathing suit, we were doing research with the upside down pentagram straps. I was like, oh yes.
By research, do you just go into like Hot Topic or something?
It's called
and just,
Google.
Like,
you go to Google.
I wasn't sure if you actually
You just go into Hot Topic.
Goth bathing suits, right?
We
and
Google
then
some weird
it
stuff at
happens.
work.
Yeah,
we
there's
do.
a lot of
It's part
Can
of
you
the
imagine what
behind
they freaking Google a high-res? He's like,
the story for this skin for me
goth
was
chicks.
like Morgan's friends made her go to the
high-res,
beach.
do you watch it? What are you
and then she
doing?
was
He's like, it's research.
I do have a bathing suit.
She hates the beach. She just happens to have this really specific
But yeah, so we
2 pieces.
so we made we made the raven into a seagull.
That's awesome.
Go all the
As
way
if
back
Morgan is at the beach and there's no ravens available, and she's like, "Oh God, what is this?
That's funny.
Seagull!"
That's a good back
She gets
animation.
attacked by seagull shoot calls. That's kind of cool.
it is.
That's good.
Well, we got kind of a watery... Or
It does
Yeah,
really, with the
we did the
autos, yeah.
watery theme. Morgan, you know, she's got her abilities are cool, but she doesn't have a lot of effects, really. You know.
Sure.
So we wanted to kind of give them a unique, beachy.
I like it. I like the water
I will
effects.
find
Pretty
a
cool.
way to have fun. Who wrote that?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
I collaborated with Tina a bit on this one.
Sweet.
But it turned out really well.
And there's the stealth version as per usual. And then the ultimate. Well, the ultimate is going to just transfer into another person, right? It's nothing special. Right? I like going mad. I don't know.
It doesn't have too many.
It's kind of tricky to do that, I guess.
It's like, yeah.
I don't even thought about that.
I dig it.
And I'm like, I wonder if the ult does do anything weird. Like,
Man,
it's
the
like
skin turned out
it'll
so nice.
Probably
It's
change
Odin
the
into a
floor. There's a floor marker.
With
underneath
the
it
animations
that
and
has
stuff, it turned out
colors
actually
and
pretty
timer.
nice.
put them all in the bathing suit. You put Odin in the bathing suit.
A bit more realistic to
Yeah,
put.
that's what we need to do is skin 90 gods, Hindu.
I'm sorry, I don't
It's
think
not
like
that much work, Chuck. It's only like all year.
I
For a
think like
tier
a
3,
fan
that
as
seems
well.
very reasonable
okay?
amount of effort.
It'd be like more expensive than tier 5. Tier 6 confirmed.
So
See,
there's
I got a bust on him now after that time. He just went crazy on AJ when he was all sweaty.
yeah.
He was way sweatier than I was.
Tier 6 is confirmed. You heard it.
I'll tell you what, it was hot, but to be fair, I
High-res
lost 3
doesn't put
pounds in
bathing
Spain.
suits on every single
I'm not even
guy.
joking. I
Live
came back and
stream.
I'd lost 3 pounds, and I'm
Let me
like,
lie to
well,
you.
I'm going to do that.
Super
patch
hot,
notes
standing all day,
every-
no food.
Patch notes in Brazil next week is the plan. That's well, 2 weeks time. Okay, we've got a voice pack, so we should have a quick
really
listen in.
unequip the jump stamp when we do this.
No.
It's clouding our message.
Voice pack, please, Pom Pom.
Already.
Okay. All right.
Woohoo! Woohoo! You savage. Cool. Yeah, I'm awesome.
I'm awesome.
Quit kicking sand on me or else. Sharks just love to eat losers like you. My bad. Thought I saw a beach whale. We never understood, Tanny. Why would you let the sun roast you to a crisp for fun? I'm not going swimming in that. The ocean is like a big fish toilet. Oh, damn it. Keep your vitamin D off me. Ha ha ha.
Well done, Tina.
I like how it's just Morgan, only you get some
Right.
like less serious voice lines. I'm gonna play this skin a lot.
Well, I'm
if
sure.
I can take a break from Cucullin.
I'm sure a few people will. Next up, though, it's a god that we don't see too much of,
Vitamin
but maybe
D,
the
you
skin
say?
will get revitalized once again. It is the Freaky Tiki Wash. So the
They
color
didn't
looks
buff
great.
Wash.
And you were giving me
The
the
skin
thumbs
is
up off
meaningless.
air.
Oh, yeah.
He will never
Pigs
get played.
are a
He's
thing.
certainly
Is
involved.
involved.
Unless you get
throws
random
pigs,
than
right?
assault.
Does he throw pigs?
He does.
Why don't we get in and check out?
Yeah,
No, he throws a pineapple he sends out roasted pig zombies.
Oh my!
Look at how awesome
because
that
his charm is actually a different entity than the
Good
pig finds
though.
it afterwards.
He looks dope. He looks really good.
That mask is
Yeah, this is an idea that's just been bouncing around for a really long time, and we were like, we got to wait for next summer, and then boom, here we go.
I want to see his real face though. It feels like I would never really see his face.
He doesn't have you people that said the skin wouldn't be cool, you were wrong.
Who said it wouldn't be cool? Did I say that? I might have said that,
Wait,
but I'm sorry.
I apologize,
man. Someone's house.
I didn't even say that it was AJ. I mean, I really
and then they flip over and they become pig. Oh god, that's good.
Those are the pigs. The roasting pigs.
So see, look at the tasty waves.
Blow them up. Blow them up.
Don't blow up the pig.
Yes. Fire. And yeah, fiery. We went with a little bit of fiery.
The pigs run on their back hooves.
Pretty good.
And then they lay down on some little banana leaves.
It's a nice garnish.
Come over.
Can you throw that at max range? That charm.
And then he can eat them because they're delicious.
That's a good point. He's just eating.
I like how they sizzle as they land.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the eating them is like more
pretty
thematic
funny.
than the base skin.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Calpina.
That is true. And then the ultimate. What's this going to be? Oh, that's cool.
They're like flaming tiki heads.
Yeah.
On a field of green.
Turn the camera around.
Are you trying
to
kill the frame rate?
Of course he is. He's going to try to slow-mo it or something.
No, it's the most optimized ability in Smite.
We're running it on a dank machine, I'm sure. So
of course we are.
It didn't even stutter.
We are.
Well, in case the skin wasn't flavorful enough, we're adding some salt. So.
Hey, Fish is on the ball today. It's just like me.
Tiki mark. Oh, that's great.
That looks sharp.
That is pretty awesome. And then obviously it has a voice pack too, so she would have a nice little listen to that.
Yes.
Solid.
You're Tiki-licious. So awesome. I know, brother. I'm amazing. I guard this place, you weird-looking beast. Soon you will be a roast pig. Emma, you want to know why I didn't invite the pig to the luau? Because he was such a bore.
Yeah, okay, Tina.
Welcome, welcome. It's time for you to play.
So is he French Polynesian?
He's something. You know how accurate we are with our accents.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, believe me, I've heard plenty of the English.
They're always perfect.
Always
All
on
the
the
accents
point, that's for sure.
on point.
Next
At
up
least they
is-
know.
I'm looking
At
forward to
least they
seeing
know
what's
that their
happening.
accents
Critical
are
damage. Naja is going to be the next one up, and it's along the same sort of theme as the ones we've done previously, like
Runny
Jabberwocky,
XE and
Mercury.
Hunbots.
I love this card
Unbat
art. This
badge.
pose is
Unbat,
awesome.
whatever.
Like the concept team really found an awesome spot here.
It looks really cool in the card art. Let's see what it looks like in game 2, and it's as much as I was hoping for.
This is
That
one of the
sash is
coolest
dope.
effects we have too. So anytime we get to use the color shifting, it just makes me happy.
Are they
And
like musical
those
symbols?
his rings that he rides on are just like perfect, like Tron cycle wheels. It's just like
That's a good idea. That was a great idea.
we're not allowed to say that.
I mean, you can.
Digital game motorcycle.
Oh God,
wheels.
he said Tron. He did
fair.
it. He said the word.
Subtle pun is with the techie skin.
And there they go. He said it on
I
TV.
said
That's
the wrong
confirmed.
team, my bad.
That's one sue.
I'm just checking. I'm pretty sure this is part of the
That's
season ticket.
one
this
sued. Coming your
Yeah,
way.
it is.
Jack.
Season ticket rewards.
Okay,
Limited
see.
critical damage Naja skin. So you can get this as part of the season ticket. If you know anything about the season ticket, you've been to
Unleash
quite a
the
lot of
lawyers.
But here's the abilities as we go through. Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
One of the most fun things about these skins are the voice packs.
I don't know
It was
about
a
that
lot
sash
of
fun. Don't do that one again.
He was sashing on no cooldown, so he broke
Yeah.
it.
Idiot. Done now.
Ooh, it's cool. Oh, just out of
nice
range.
whip.
He beamed!
Skill shot.
You got juked by a Odin bot.
That was stood still.
See, and then in gameplay, somebody would be like, "Dude, I hit that guy. He didn't even beads. Didn't go up."
They'd send me an angry tweet.
To be fair, Pom was just saying that in the back. You just heard his comms from here. That's what the reference was.
I assumed you blamed latency.
Can't escape them.
Yeah,
It was really that he missed
As
by
always.
like.
Blame the lag.
There we go.
Exactly.
Well, next up then, we should listen to the voice pack for this skin too. You've seen all the abilities and obviously the changing of the colours. Well, let's hear the voice pack.
Yahoo! Yahoo! You're insane! Hardcore!
Hardcore.
Yeah, I'm a big deal. Attack middle lane. Okay, you can't be serious with those graphics, can you? Don't worry, I ain't a threat. Yet. What if life was just a video game and deja vus are just checkpoints?
Deep.
Video games ruined my life.
Deep.
Mind blown.
Good thing I have a bajillion extra lives.
Thank you, Pon. That's the look at the Najah skin. We've still got more to go, so we need to move along nice and quick.
I just want to see the new goddess.
Midnight Dove Awilix.
Community.
Never mind. I wanted to see this.
How was it the community?
I want to see this.
The community submitted, yeah.
Good job, community.
God was voted, and then community artists submitted.
That's a cool
this was the top vote.
And Tina actually worked higher than usual to coordinate with the community for input on the voice pack, including making Suku talk, which is a high fan request.
Really?
Yes.
Suku's going to speak?
Yes.
That's what I hear.
Okay. This could be
So
terrible.
I
This
see
could be
Tina made this
glorious.
information conveyance request to more than one of us.
Look at how
we
freaking
forget
cool
stuff
that is.
sometimes, so.
That's true. 'Cause
It's looking pretty
I was
sweet.
maybe going to forget.
I mean, they have good
I
taste.
really like the effect on the cat's fur. You got to really see it moving around.
Yeah, I can see on the tail.
Talking about the green part or the gold part?
The green part has kind of this iridescent shimmeriness when the cat moves.
Which unfortunately we can't move while we camera
cammering,
rove.
Move, Pon, for the love of God. No, you can't see him because we can't.
Cancel cat.
Yeah, just put the cat away and then we'll have a little close.
Oh, the weapon looks cool.
Oh yeah, that turned
Oh,
out
it's
really
got
nice.
the buff on it right now too.
Nice, pretty looking skin.
Ooh.
I like the little wings she's got.
Everyone's favorite.
We're getting a free show.
Listen, I'm a married man. I only made one comment. I'm not making a second. I still want to go somewhere home tonight. That's the main thing.
You got like a ration?
Oh, your wife doesn't watch the stream.
Oh, people will tweet her, though, that's for sure. That's how that work. There's always a way.
I know.
Wait, did I just hear Suka speak? I
Yeah,
did.
he's got a nice deep.
My lady, how can I help?
How can I
Nice
help?
comforting voice.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
I hope I don't explode when we land.
Spoiler alert.
Will be done. As you wish.
Nice.
Yo, this skin's sick.
At all. I've never seen that. Well, he had two?
Those Odin bots jukes, not good enough.
Oh, you missed.
You still had a grudge match from the Najah round, so.
He's just showing the buff. It's nice. That's a nice effect. Yeah,
And
that's
the
cool.
noise too.
Yeah, it's sweet skin. It turned out really cool.
The symbol underneath is cool to show. I like how it's like a moon that's like slowly.
They did really good in the skin.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's not just a traditional. It was kind of angel themed originally, but it's just not that normal angel. It's got a little bit of its own flair, unique share to it, which is I think what draws the
more
community
like
votes to it. So
less
just
angel,
turned out really well. So
more
props
like
to everyone involved in the voting process. It's a really cool
strips.
skin.
Well, good job. Let's listen
did mean it, though. It
to the voice
feels
back.
right.
Woohoo! You are ready for your halo. Heavenly. I am the light that conquers all. Attack middle lane. You don't want to see my dark side.
She wagged her butt while she said that.
We don't want to end them too soon.
If I must.
Don't worry, I'm not going to moon you. I'm going to smite you.
Really?
That's Tina.
Did they just call me lunatic? Because I'm Luna Thick.
I bet that was a community suggested lie.
That sounds like Tina too.
That's a good one, dude.
Okay.
I love it.
You tweeted that.
I love that one.
Saying.
Some people, I think she was taking
That
suggestions on
is
Twitter. So
top
that's-
cack right
Next
there,
up,
man.
and the final
That is
new skin coming here, other than the
excellent.
mastery skin to this next god, is Dr. Mad Love Cupid. The evil scientist, as we decided earlier in Pom Pom, because of the nuclear.
It's gonna be the
weapon
new
in the
phrase
background.
I
But
use.
for me, I still think he could be good.
Oh yeah, look at his face. That's a good face. That's
looks
a
good
face
to me.
good people make.
It reminds me, to be fair, that face reminds me of you quite a bit. It does have your face.
Yeah, which is not a
This
good
doesn't
person face.
affect your
If you did the hairstyle, you could exactly.
I mean, the code name was Evil Genius Cupid while we were getting started, so, you know, he's evil.
Is he really going to shoot a laser?
Yeah.
What was
That was one of the major draws to the skin.
What was the distribution
Look at
strategy
this
for this
QB.
one?
Season ticket bundle.
It's in the season ticket.
Oh, so this is this year's equivalent of like the Scientist Sylvanas or whatever.
Okay.
No. Modern Nox and Vamp.
Give me that auto.
When you buy the fall split, you will also
yes.
get the skin immediately.
I'm just reading that to make sure now that we get that message in right.
This is a
sound
tier.
effects rip. No new sound effects yet. Sorry, those usually come in last.
What?
It happens sometimes.
I was about to say, I'm like, damn, I'm so disappointed. It's got the same sound effects.
So this is a tier 4.
It's not. They don't have the sound effects done
Cupid
yet.
has so many.
Woo! I got so nervous.
But, so we added a whole jetpack laser gun set for Cupid just for this guy who we just...
That's cool.
Tesla coils.
That's sweet. I haven't seen that detail.
So yeah, this concept has actually been around for a long time, and we've always really wanted to kind of do it. So, and it's a neat color scheme for Cupid that he doesn't have before. So yeah. So
apologies for the old sound effects. Those will be replaced to be a lot more pew-pewy by the time he ships.
What did Share the Love look like? I missed Share the Love. Did I miss it?
What? Oh no, we didn't do it
Where's
yet.
the hearts? Why have we not seen the hearts? I want to know what they are.
Mine's heartless.
Oh, there's
potions.
I love it.
I just wasn't sure what we were going to do here. I'm like, where could they go? Like,
need pots.
Yeah. Gotta be potions there.
If I must.
Erlenmeyer flasks, technically.
Ooh. Okay.
Bring back that engineering.
I think in my email where I sent out my crappy drawing of those, I referred to them as science beakers.
I'd call them a
technical term.
They're called Erlenmeyer flasks.
Now this comes with a voice pack as per usual, so let's have a listen to the voice pack before we look at his new mastery skins.
Woohoo! We have chemistry, I guess. Fantastic! Ooh, victory is mine! My particle beam will disintegrate you.
I like how he humped when he did that.
Bow before me. You'd make a perfect test subject for my death ray. Interesting. My formulas don't even contain sodium, so how can you be so salty?
Oh, yeah. Solid.
That's a good one.
You are part of the precipitate.
I actually really liked the chemistry one.
That's a very specific chemistry joke.
Sure.
I did like the salt joke. I'm not gonna lie, the sodium one was very, very
All
good.
good, solid.
Pretty
Very,
good.
very good. And now we've also got has mastery updates as well.
Nobody cares about
we sort of got
mastery
a little bit
skins,
earlier
dude.
on, and we'll probably go back to it.
Unfinished card art.
It is unfinished right now.
It's just still in progress, right, Chuck?
Is it really? Chuck? Hello?
Did I sell you out?
This question.
I'm sorry.
You did sell me out to a question I don't have an answer to.
I thought you said something. We'll make sure.
Look, Cupid's face isn't gold, you guys.
It's not. And it looks better. That's the first, to be fair, like normally we have an issue with card art looking better than in game. Well, this way is the other way around, in my opinion. I'm just going to say that now.
The card art will look fantastic by the time it
I
hope
like
so.
the sniper wink with his little tiny bow. That's kind of a cool.
But hey.
Now also, when you you can't really see, so the eyes also get colorized based on the outfit, which is a nice touch from Greg.
One of the advantages of having giant eyes.
It's also because you always stare Cupid in the face and the eyes directly, so you can know exactly what kind of skill level he is based off how deep into the masteries he's gone.
Good Cupids are scary, man.
Yeah, they are.
Also rare.
Yes,
yeah, maybe they are.
At least when they're on my
team, I
team,
like these color schemes a lot.
Those wings look really good like that. I like it.
All these look great. I'm sorry, 2D team, if I sold you out.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I didn't want to sell them out. I just shut up about that, but I was like, to be fair, that doesn't look great. But it's okay.
It happens, you know. We're working right up till the finish line on every patch.
Can we not talk about this anymore?
Okay, fine.
I didn't notice the eye on the first skin, so I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah, the eyes, especially the legendary eyes, are like.
Well, that's.
I just killed
Give
Chuck
me the new god, man.
with my super subtle transition.
Yeah.
Apologies for the coffee.
That was amazing, Fishman. Thank you.
Well, that's it for skins. That's it for balance. But we still have
New goddess.
a
what do we
god
have?
coming out.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we?
We do.
That's always my
It's a pretty
favorite.
big deal.
That's cool.
Is it a girl? Is it a bear? Or is it both of them? RTO is on the way.
Winning or losing doesn't matter.
Is it a girl
We all
or is
shall
it a bear?
return to nature in the
It's a
end.
girl bear, obviously. I hear movement. They're switching out, people. Something's happening.
I feel like I'm about to get a massage, you guys.
Yeah, AJ's giving it to you.
So
I'm
relaxed.
feeling.
AJ's floating in the sensory deprivation
I'm an animated card art.
I'll get the massage with you. You get the bear. I'll take RTO herself. Okay?
I've made that trade before. It's important to
What if she transforms into the bear, like in the middle?
I don't know.
Anyway, let's go. Sorry.
There's a lot of things that could be said then. I'm just not going to go down that route.
Just murdered AJ.
Even for me, it's
not
dangerous. Even for me.
Something I hadn't thought of yet.
RTO. Celtic god, first of all, clearly by, you know, the kilt.
So we're just gonna...
Clearly by her voice.
No, just...
We're just gonna move on from all of that.
Teacher in the end.
Listen, accents don't work anymore.
Chuck actually did the voice back.
Clearly Celtic. AJ, what's her lore? Where's she come from?
So
Who is
one of the
RTO?
fun things about RTO is she does not have much official lore.
Okay.
Yeah, really, like, looking back, doing some research, there's not a lot. She's goddess of bears. She generally was associated with kind of, you know, harvest and bounty and food from nature and kind of the, you know, nature's gifts to humans. And there's not much about her.
All I heard is he's
really
gonna make it all
She was
up.
associated with bears. We had this idea for a bear transforming god for a long time. Wanted to really bring that back. And also, we were just really wanting to get more stance changers in the game. So we saw this opportunity for a new Celtic goddess and really cool lore that fits it. So we got the bear, we got the druid, and those are going to be her 2 stances. And she's going to work more like Hell or Uller, and that her ability 4 is not an ultimate.
Get a stance switcher?
Stance. She'll change between the bear and the druid, and then she'll have 3 abilities that change.
Okay.
Depending on the stance.
So, Chuck, with this then, I mean, this is a bit of a different one for you guys because normally you have a lot of backstory and things you have to, you know, go towards in terms of design.
When AJ says a fun thing about her is that she has no lore, that's fun for us.
Because it gives us space to play.
We have less, things boxing us in, right? So then we were like, she can transform into a bear. We wanted the bear transformation for so long.
So what's the main things that you guys were looking for in her design?
3 and 4.
To do because you weren't like constrained.
Loving it.
Bear.
It's always. I love the simplicity.
Her weapon, her armor, you know.
Brilliant.
Yeah. There was definitely some interesting things like figuring out how to make her feel feminine, but also kind of giving her enough layers of clothing that we really kind of got the Guardian feel. And then also we didn't want her whacking people with the staff, so her in-hand is kind of an interesting way to just...
Slow your roll.
He's doing the both. He's doing both. The pan around both.
You know what?
Went a little early.
Start out.
It is cool that the bear has the same like.
It's a pretty good looking bear.
Like the hair ornaments.
That was another thing that I'm sure Chuck was going to go into.
Looking bear.
We're really being careful about what elements were copied from her both forms, that you could see there was a connection. This is not just some random bear. This is not just some random druid. We want to have some connections there.
But you can put a kill on a bear.
That's a good looking bear.
We did not choose to do that.
There were definitely some versions where the bear had some accoutrement, but it was like putting a jacket on your dog or whatever. It just
it was a great idea.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there with my dog. I don't like
so
that.
Her in-hand, instead of her doing like a whack, she kind of does this magical spiral that she can zap people with.
So she is melee.
It's great because Guardian basics are magical, and this one really feels magical.
Absolutely.
And she's a Guardian.
She's a Guardian.
We didn't get on to that just yet, but I guess, Guardian. Or was that confirmed already?
Guardian, yes. I've mentioned that, yes, Guardian.
The clothing was to help convey it.
So, a Guardian and a bear.
Auto attacks do not do more damage as a bear.
Passive.
I don't know why, but it definitely
disappoints me. What is the passive for RTO?
Just before we get going a little bit, just to mention that those UI elements are not quite done yet. Those will be implemented soon. I've actually already seen them. They'll be in probably in the PTS build even. And they are, her icons are awesome. And her passive meter is really cool too. So her passive meter actually doesn't have a connection directly to her passive, but it's something we wanted to do on stance changers for a long time. Which, although we can't see it here, she's going to have a passive meter that conveys the cooldowns of her other stance. This is going to let you know when it's optimal for you to switch back. So instead of guessing or trying to keep track or some kind of feeling it out, you will actually be able to see, oh, my bear dash is back up off cooldown now. I can switch and use it. Which is going to be really cool. But then her actual passive, which doesn't require a meter, is a debuff that applies to all of her abilities. So anytime she hits an enemy god with an ability, she's going to apply a stacking protection debuff to them. And one of the things we learned when we first started designing this god as kind of an intro to her kit is that a stance switching guardian that has 6 abilities is just inherently going to feel really bruisery. They have so many abilities they can use all the time. They're going to be in the combat. They're going to be fighting a lot. So she has a lot of parts in her kit you'll see where we have kind of large stacking buffs that require her to stay in combat and be landing many successful abilities to really see the full potential. It's really to encourage her to stay and brawl for long periods of time.
Okay, and that debuff is, what does that exactly do?
So it's called Decompose, her passive, and is anytime she hits an enemy god with an ability, she applies a stack of percent protection reduction, both protections.
Okay, so it's not just one, it's both.
It's both, and it's percent based.
Okay.
So, and it stacks up to 8 times, I believe, at like 3% per stack. So it's really cool because late game it translates really well.
Well, let's start going for the abilities.
Really?
Human
That's
form
a
and go for
great
the
passive.
human abilities first before we go into bear form. I think is probably the best way here.
Well, hold on. And the idea with that, right, is that basically she's going to stay in the combat to keep fighting, but she's mostly fighting to set up everyone else to be able to do more damage.
So she's more of a damage dealer here as a guardian, more like a frontline bruise that's there to shred.
Definitely, and the fact that she doesn't have an ult means she doesn't have that like huge burst. So you get instead you get a lot more sustained disruption and sustained damage. She's not just going to Bacchus flop, jump in, and do 100% in 1 second. She's much more sustained.
Okay, well, first ability then is called Energy Surge in Druid form, and Fishman talk me through what this is going to do.
Sure. So as we were talking about, she is a classical stance switcher. So one of the things we want to do is we want to keep the targeters consistent between the two stances.
Sure.
So you can kind of use one to set up the other one and know that they're going to be in the appropriate range and kind of line it up.
Gotcha.
So her first one is a cone attack, and what she's going to do is she's going to, we're playing up the like life essence theme with her rather than like plants and vines and physical manifestations of nature. We're instead trying to do this like spiritual, like I'm pulling your life essence. So what she's going to do is she's going to hit her enemies, and then her allies that are within 55 of those enemies, which is basic attack range, basic attack range, are going to get heals for each enemy she hits, as well as herself.
Okay.
She's also going to get those
How
heals.
much?
So she
Did you
has
notice Pawn coincidentally setting up these rows of Odins?
Yeah, he did a very good job here. Pon, can you go to the left side and hit just the one Odin? So actually you'll see that when you hit the god, it sends out the wisps to including RTO and all allies, and there's there's 3 from that Odin, but when he hits both Odins,
it heals for is going to be a big deal.
So everyone gets double healed in that situation. So it can scale up. So this is a team heal, but only triggerable for hitting enemy gods. You cannot use it on waves or jungles. You have to hit enemy gods.
Only gods.
And the teammates have to be in proximity to the hit.
This is our newest iteration of a true combat heal.
Okay. Now with this as well, because somebody will damage to creeps and things like that, but just doesn't get the heal. Right?
It's definitely good just for lane clear.
So
just
it
for
does hurt creeps.
You won't get the heal.
So that's the Energy Surge in Druid form and the number 1 ability. The second ability is called Entangling Vines. AJ, I'm guessing it's something to do with vines.
Yes, so you know, we really went life force with her, but we had to have a little nature. So the vines. And, one thing we really wanted to do with Guardians is bring back a cripple.
Okay.
We really Guardians are good at lockdown. And we don't have that many with notable cripples. One of them is probably Ares, but RTO is the new premier cripple guardian. She has this persistent area she summons around her.
So that is
and
so
that is a persistent cripple area.
Our team
freaking annoying.
Yeah, really cool kind of.
Oh god, that is actual.
Now, I know we don't want to the bear form quickly.
Oh no, that is so annoying.
Change to
I mean, that's great for me.
Yes, you can, Punk.
Oh, that's so. Oh no, and it stays with you when you switch. I'm already tilted for you.
I'd like to activate it a little before.
Oh, that lasts
charge into people.
Forever.
From escaping. And it's also, you can use it defensively. You can like see a Sobek dashing at you and activate it, and he'll hit it because when you dash into a cripple. So it's very much like Poseidon Circle as a persistent cripple. Very strong, but does no damage.
Okay.
This ability
Dude,
does
it
not
doesn't
do her
matter
two,
that it doesn't
either form
do
does no
How
damage.
long does that last for? That's like 7
But it also
seconds.
reduces that damage, correct?
It also gives a
5.
power
Did you say
debuff,
5
percent
seconds?
power debuff to enemies inside.
Okay.
So more of a secondary effect, a way of her to do a little bit of soft peel. So say you have like a Baka just shredding, you can at least pop that.
Can you auto attack while that's happening? / use other abilities while that's
and
happening?
then he also has to be scared as to whether or not he might suddenly need to leave and be unable
Right,
to.
he won't be able
that's
to.
That's going to be important.
Okay, well, there's a look at the Entangling Vines. The third ability is called Life Tap, so more sustained by the sounds of it, Fish.
Sure. So again, we're playing into this essence theme. Her 1 is going to heal herself and allies. Her 3, she's going to channel it. If she hits an enemy, it's going to do several things. One of those things is going to heal herself. You can see the wisps again traveling back to her, delivering those heals. It's also damaging the enemy. What you may not be seeing from this range is that it's also slowing them. and if she hits them for all 5
Oh, she can use it while moving!
They wind up rooted at the end. And if you think about it, that slow and that root are going to combine very well.
Oh, that's a freaking sick ability.
Making it very difficult for them to escape.
Oh,
so it feels like very
dude, I was hoping RDO would suck, dude.
Can be silenced, I guess, out of that ability. Knocked
sucky,
up, so cancel that
She's
out.
not immune to anything during
Okay.
And if she lines it up, she can actually hit.
God, that's
both
actually
like
so
through the
good.
other. So they're not.
Wow, those are good abilities.
And this is a really cool kind of combo ability where you have to keep it on someone, kind of a tractor push.
Yep.
You have to keep it on a moving target, and they'll be swerving and juking, and you keep it on them the entire time for that bonus at the end. It's kind of a slow.
That's only 3 of her abilities, dude. Those are insanely
and this is really her
good.
only good way to engage from range.
Okay.
So it's a good way to start a
slow
fight.
that
Pretty
becomes
big
a root,
AoE,
at the whole thing, and it heals her. No teammate heals on that?
No teammate, just her.
Okay. I was a little bit worried. I was like,
it's
it heals for days.
It's a strong slow.
Okay.
Yes.
And does the slow just increase as it goes on? Or is
It
it
does.
just
It's
flat?
stacking slow.
Okay.
Yeah, it
gets
stacks
better
all
and
the way up to the root.
All right, well, that's the 3rd ability in Druid. I guess we should move to the bear form then.
Yep.
Yeah. So we can talk about ability 4, which turns her into the bear.
Do we need to say more than it just turns into a bear? Or?
We do.
More.
Oh, there's more to it?
Yeah,
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
So all stance changers have the ability 4, but you have to rank it up. So we put things on that ability to encourage you to put points into it. And this is plays into what I was talking about as far as her kind of general design and her passive theme. So her 4 shapeshift, when you activate it, transforms between her bear stance and druid stance. When you put ranks into it, you get a passive buff, which is a stacking buff, which is anytime she hits an ability, so similar to her passive, she needs to hit enemies with abilities. She gets movement speed and MP5.
Okay.
And this is specifically designed.
Keeps her in combat, technically.
It has 4-second duration and 8 stacks, which, as you'll notice, 8 stacks is actually a lot of uses of the ability. You can only get 1 stack of her passive per ability use.
Okay.
So what this really does is encourages her to stay in combat, to time her abilities one after another, stance switch, rotate through them, switch back. You really have to go through more than a whole rotation to fully stack it. But if you do, you're going to notice that she's going to have a really strong base movement speed, and she's going to start gaining her mana back really quickly. Really helps in the late game. And it's one thing you won't notice if you're just jumping into a fight and engaging real quick and bailing, but it's something you'll really feel when you're during long fights.
So that movement speed per stack, is that just a flat amount, or is that a percent? Or?
It's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3% per stack.
Right, that's what I was saying, because it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. I wasn't sure if that was percent or like actual. Like,
it's percent.
Roll.
Yeah, it's percent. We always do movement speed buffs in percent.
Her kit is so good already.
3 that actually, as you multi-hit with that, you're actually getting multiple stacks of that passive.
Are you right now?
Counting up. Yeah, it's maxed at 8.
Well, you're getting
Well,
one.
see, he hit 2 targets with all of the 3s, and it's only 1. Now it's only 1 stack of the 4 per ability.
Yeah, he's right.
But the passive, actually, you can multi-stack. It's the passive. The decompose on enemies, you can. The life tap actually gives you 5 stacks of decompose. So it's also a pretty strong protection shred.
Okay, so she's got protection shred on a passive, and then that druid
There's a
ultimate gets
lot
movement
going
speed
on with this goddess,
using
y'all.
multiple
A lot.
abilities over and over again.
Successfully.
Successfully, they connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not spamming them. Well, that's it for the ult, I guess, and then it's on to ability 1, which is Mole Prey.
Mole Prey, that's right.
Fish.
So what we're going to do here, as we're a bear, we're going to lose this life essence tapping that we had as a druid, and instead we're going to get as a double swipe.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, it's classic bear.
Oh,
So, like,
yeah.
So if you pay attention to the effects of the animation, they're actually they have a travel time like the Chang'e sweep, and they're going to damage in that direction. There's actually an interesting trade-off because one comes from the right and one comes from the left.
Yeah.
If you put it on one edge,
you might miss.
Well, no, you're going to hit him either way, but if you put him on one edge, there's more of a gap for the first hit and less of a gap towards the second one.
Gotcha.
But if you do it the other way, then there's more of a gap in between. So either way, but as long as they're in the cone, you'll hit them both times for double the damage. 1.5, I think, total damage.
It is double.
Is it?
It's each hit hits the same amount.
And that's just raw damage. There's nothing else to that.
This
just
is her
raw
highest damaging ability for sure.
It hits pretty hard.
Even after a couple nerfs.
Force in the playtest for sure.
Before we go to the second ability as well, quick question. I'm expecting the answer's fine, but Shapeshift, you can get that from level 1, right? You can start with it, or do you need to actually hit level 5 to be able to transform?
No, at level 1, she will have a point in, or she will have no points in Shapeshift, but be able to transform between stances. But she will not get any bonuses from the passive effects of Shapeshift until you put 1 point
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure of that because it's like one of those questions that sometimes can happen where you're like, hey, actually, you've got to hit 5 before you can become a bear. So.
Which gives her a little bit of strength at level 1 because she's got the 2 abilities she can take.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, she gets 2 abilities at level 1.
It looks like it does something else
well,
too.
Attack with Vines is a human form for ability 2. What's Ferocious Roar? AJ, I'm guessing it's very simple.
Well, it is. And you know what she's kind of lacking right now is just some quick hard CC. So this is just a quick AoE stun.
Oh, an AoE stun.
AoE stun. Now these...
Holy moly. How long is the AoE stun for? That's a...
It is scaling up from 1... Oh, geez.
I'm looking at it. Sorry, I've got it here.
1 to 1.4 seconds.
1.4, yeah. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. It was more like I was
it's
like,
alright.
I was like, oh.
And it's also going to give her a self-protection buff afterwards that she can also retain if she switches stance. So she's got the self-protection buff still on her.
Love it, love it, love it.
But the roar was really meant to be a very small radius around her, and these might look a little big on screen, and especially the crippling
but in
vines.
gameplay, when everyone's running around,
it is actually pretty tough to get that. It's very tough to get multiple targets on it. For a single target, yeah, you can hit that, but hitting multiple people with it can be quite tricky. So it's a big trade-off in that it's a very small area. She really needs to get in position before she.
Throw down your cripple, change your stances, and then stun them at the very end.
Sure. This is looking great. I'm excited to go and play this right now. And then that's the second ability. There's still a third ability, which is the heavy charge in bear form.
Sure. So when we had the Druid 3, what we had was an ability to engage from distance by locking them down with a root. And this is kind of the antithesis of that approach.
line-shaped.
Sure, line-shaped. What we're going to do here is we're going to dash into them, and we are going to do very reasonable damage, and we're also going to slow.
Pretty slow.
Oh, so
really long.
It just hits them and slows them.
Pass through.
Yeah.
Pass through enemies,
really,
damage
really
slows.
Bear's got a place to be. It's going to slow you down. You can cancel out if you want to stay in range.
I love the camera jiggle.
Camera shake.
So you can cancel that out as well. So if I go 2 into 3 in bear form, sorry, 2 into human form into bear, into 3 in bear form,
into 2.
Yes,
into 2 to stun him.
Then wait
That's
on
nasty.
On top of your enemies and they're crippled and stunned.
Gotcha. So you can charge them, cripple them,
charge them while you're crippling.
I get the idea behind it.
Yeah, she has a really cool skill set flow in the order of operations you can do.
And then you stun
them.
them.
The Druid 2 into Bear 3.
And then they jump away after you cripple, and you just use your 12,000-year
starting with Druid 3 is generally the way to do it, and you try to queue up an ally to hit off that root.
She's got so much CC, I
love it. Once you're already in combat, you start throwing
Give
out the
me a
wands
broken
on both
support.
stances,
Let me play every game.
She's just really fun to play. Very brawlery. Honestly, I think we've seen more success with her in the solo lane and even jungle.
I was about to say, like, yeah, she's a guardian, but she feels like she's more of a bruiser
She's a
guardian.
competent jungler because she can heal herself.
I'm never gonna get the player, dude. All the junglers are gonna be like,
more abilities in the game really affected that. And that's one thing we found out really early in her design is a guardian with 6 abilities. To make it feel like fair guardian damage, if all 6 deal damage, they would have to do insanely low damage. It feels just like feels way too weak. So that's why we immediately knew that we need to make some abilities not do damage and have much more strong utility, and that's really what is the mark of this guardian.
Yeah.
And even we'll see that in Hell and Uller. They have stims and Hell has the cleanse and debuff because having 6 damaging abilities early game is just insane, and the numbers would have to be crazy low. So she's very strong early game because of that.
Although, like most stance switchers, she's a little mana thirsty.
Oh, okay.
Mana thirsty and a little bit higher skill cap just because you have so many things going on.
Sure. I can see that. I mean, the skill cap's going to be there for playing, but also playing against it. It's going to take a while for everybody to learn out. Oh, wait a second, can I get away from this? Why can't I move? Oh, rooted or crippled? Okay.
Generally, want to keep her away from you, just like most guardians.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I would definitely say, give her a couple playthroughs because we had a lot of people who, you're gonna have 1 or 2 combos that you figure out the first game, but then the more you play, the more flexible her kill will become, and it starts to feel real good.
Okay, is the voice pack working for this today?
I believe so. Pon said there was some difficulties.
Pon said he's got it sorted. Well, let's have a little listen to how Artio was sounding. Does the bear speak in bear form?
No, she sounds the same.
I was just checking,
So her abilities, she makes more bear noises, but her speaking voice, I like to think that she's kind of talking, godly through an animal. She sounds the same.
I was going for animal VGS.
You were?
Bear form.
Just all roars the whole time.
That would not surprise me.
Like everyone's favorite Kamazot's voice pack.
And the Rajin gorilla.
All right, let's have a listen then.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Unleash the beast.
Okay.
Wonderful. All things flow through me. Attack left lane. Attack right lane.
Energy is not simply created. It is transferred, and I will take yours.
Damn, son.
Everything will be all right once the pain has gone away. Question: what type of bear is best? False. Me. I won't be raiding any picnic baskets. I'm a goddess.
I like that laugh animation.
Some of those jokes were unbearable.
See, I tried to avoid making any jokes like that in the actual voice pack. So I know that's going to be a hotly debated topic, whether or not...
She sounds very Celtic, and then she says,
the NASCAR, oh yeah! Like, I thought the same thing. I was like, well, I'll talk after.
You know, we're running out of ways to say woohoo. Like, I guess she could have just said woohoo, but I'm happy with the...
On the base skin, you can get away with it.
Well, she just had her...
So we mixed it up a little bit for her on there. And she has this kind of a little bit more...
yeah, she looks so nasty.
Harsh realist attitude. Like she's not going to be a coddling nature god. She doesn't just gonna like give you everything. She knows that you got to work for what you want, and that nature is just as much death as it is life. And
I wonder if her 2 will work with a gem of isolation.
She's a realist.
Because that would be the worst experience of your life.
You're making Bearwood's poop jokes.
Be real.
Be inside a cripple and be slow.
Oh yeah.
Can you show us the... Hold on. The other skin? The skin that comes with it? I believe I could see that too. The card recolor, I should say. Sorry, the recolor. I can't remember the name of what it was. It was like the alternate card.
Oh, that's the
Dead Mother.
Yes.
That bear looks like it's disappointed in me for not recycling.
I like those colors. I like the colors.
Only you could prevent
And
I'm not saving the planet.
That's good.
We've got a commitment to recolor the bear to match the hair color.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Commitment. That's what I like to hear.
Commitment.
Playing with a little willow there.
So she's got a little bit more of a white.
At least it's different.
And golden hair, and then
it's not particularly my favorite, but like I like to recolor that like
just knock
like, oh yeah, that's definitely different.
Oh, so many bear skin ideas. I know the community's gonna become. Ooh, golden bear.
That's nice. And she keeps the
Goldilocks bear, yo.
Oh,
she got some pissed off eyes.
Gives the recolor a
just
little
like the
bit
card
more value, you know.
Yeah, it's
I actually like him better in person. That's cool.
It's great.
Looking good, looking good. A nice, lovely looking bear to maul you in your side lanes, in your jungles. We'll see where he ends up getting. Well,
yeah, I mean, I've been playing her a lot in support and playtesting too, so and she can do that just fine. But
okay, well, I'm really excited about this, and I think that's all we've got, is it not?
That is it for the patch notes, guys. That new goddess is going to be crazy. We're definitely going to be giving her some runs on PTS and getting those videos up on YouTube and all that good stuff because, I mean, her kit is just, it's too good. That's just too good, man. There's no reason at this point I can see why you just wouldn't pick her unless she has like a really bad early game because her numbers are so low or something. But thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for the support. And as always, have a twitching day, y'all.